Well, Kim.com has just made a terrifying announcement on his X page. And if it's true, we could be looking at some rather troubling things here in the United States of America, especially when it comes to our security. Now, I'm going to start off here. I obviously do not agree with everything Kim.com has said or done. He has said things over the past that haven't really panned out, and some things that have. Now, if you're not familiar, before I even show you anything with who Kim.com is, I want you to look at this. This kind of gives you a background. But Kim.com was born January. There's the date. But he is also known as Kimball and Kim Tim Jim Vester, a German-Finnish internet entrepreneur and political activist who lives in New Zealand. .com rose to fame in Germany in the 90s as a hacker and an internet entrepreneur. He was arrested in 1994 for trafficking in stolen phone calling card numbers. He was convicted on 11 charges of computer fraud, 10 charges of data espionage, and various other charges in 98, for which he served 2-year suspended sentence. In 2003, he was deported from Thailand to Germany, where he pleaded guilty to embezzlement in November 2003. And after 5 months in jail waiting trial after he received another 20 months suspended sentence. He is the founder and CEO of the defunct file hosting service Mega Upload. In 2012, the U.S. Department of Justice seized the website and pressed charges against .com, including criminal copyright infringement, money laundering, racketeering, and wire fraud. .com was residing in New Zealand at the time that the U.S. requested authorities. So anyway, even the New Zealand police raided his home, arrested him, and the whole 9 yards. He was granted bail. But anyway, you could see this guy's got a rap sheet as far as the light of day, if you will. But he really got claim to fame by a lot of the hacking work he did and some of the information that he has dropped over the years. He is more or less, I would call it anti-Israel. I am not. I take a neutral ground. I'm like, I feel sorry for what is going on in the Middle East, but the best place politically right now in the Middle East is Israel. So I take some very staunch different stances on Kim.com on a lot of stuff. So I just want to make that very clear. But what's interesting is his latest announcement. Let me take you directly to that. And here he is. He dropped this just, I think it was February 15th, just yesterday. Breaking: Palantir was allegedly hacked. An AI agent was used to gain super user access. And here's what the hackers allegedly found. Peter Thiel and Alex Karp commit mass surveillance of world leaders and titans of industries on a massive scale. They have thousands of hours transcribed and searchable conversations of Trump, Vance, and Musk. They have backdoored the devices, cars, and jets of world leaders and accumulated the biggest archive of blackmail material. Palantir is creating nuclear and bioweapon capabilities for Ukraine and is working closely with the CIA to defeat Russia. They believe they are 1 year away. They plan to achieve this by keeping Russia busy with meaningless peace negotiations. Palantir is responsible of the majority of Palestinian deaths in Gaza, he says. They have dropped the AI targeting for Israel. Palantir is an arm of the CIA, and all data from international clients is copied into a CIA spy cloud. Palantir has become the most dangerous company in the world. If you work there, you have a right to know that this is what Palantir AI is used for without your knowledge. The Palantir data the hackers allegedly gathered will be given to Russia or China. I was chosen, he says, as a trusted partner for this publication. I'm not involved in the hack, and I don't know the hackers, but I do know that the hack happened. Interesting, to say the least. I actually have warned about Palantir, and in a nutshell, they can create lists of people, what you do, how you do it, how long you do it. It is unbelievable data collection on steroids, because it's kind of, if I were to describe it, I guess it kind of works like a Google search engine with all the information that is out there and puts it all together. Okay, plug in Lisa Haven, bang, here's everything, kind of a thing. And that's kind of the way the system works, which I have always seen Palantir as a threat, right? But anyway, he talks about how they have information potentially on Vance and Elon Musk. I don't know the legitimacy of this. it could be absolutely untrue, right? Because it has not been confirmed. Let me just be very clear. And like I said, Kim.com has said stuff before that necessarily didn't come to pass. So take it with a grain of salt. But the way that I take it is I do have an issue with Palantir. The second thing I want to say, I don't know about Peter Thiel and Alex Karp keeping all mass surveillance on world leaders and all of that. But to be frank with you, I believe a lot of that is going on anyway outside of Palantir. There's a lot of blackmail of government leaders, government officials. I think a lot of it went on with files we saw recently released by the DOJ. So there is a lot of that already going on. So I guess a little bit, it's like, okay, it's not that surprising. I do believe that Palantir is linked to the CIA because there have been things that I've questioned in the past, but they do have a lot of contracts with the United States government, right? Palantir does. So there's that as well, just to kind of consider. Now, regarding all of that, the CTO of Palantir came out and responded to Kim.com, and he says, look, he goes, this is peak Kim.com. Nuclear grade claims, zero evidence, maximize, trust me, bro, energy, and a side of any day now, copium. You're chosen as a trusted partner for this dump to China, Russia. The guy who predicted Hillary's arrest, Seth Rich leaks, and Mueller's downfall, baiting 0.000 on credibility. If the data ever drops, it won't. I'll eat my ontology. Palantir is still standing. Kim is still standing. And then Kim obviously responds and he goes, Trump said Hillary would get arrested, not him. His Seth Rich evidence is on X, he says. But what credibility does Mueller still have after Russiagate? Palantir servers were hacked, he says, because the CTO can't even perform advanced X searches. Such a billionaire, sell your shares, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So this has obviously been denied by Palantir, at least the CTO of Palantir. But here's the deal. All of that aside, there is a lot of, like I said before, blackmailing and all of that going on. And God forbid, by the way, that these hacks did happen. I would be rather concerned if any of that information got into the hands of Russia or China. That is a big issue. And that is the main issue that I have with it regarding all of that. But by the way, I did a big report on Restricted Republic about a list and Palantir, and it would actually stun you. It's on Restricted Republic. If you want to watch it, you can go to restrictedrepublic.com right now and sign up. Use the coupon code LISA and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. But we've got all kinds of great content on there. That I want to encourage you to check out, and it is for just $5 per month. That's less than a cup of coffee, especially in today's day and age. But either way, what I want to tell you about Palantir is the CEO and founder of Palantir, Alex Karp, actually came out in a World Economic Forum website back in 2023 and said that, he wants to set a global standard of behavior for the world. No joke. Take a listen to this.
Then we were asked if we were willing to supply our product philanthropically, basically for free. And I was very in favor of this because our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior.
Set a global standard for the world for behavior. Is that what they're trying to do with Palantir? I don't think they'll be able to necessarily accomplish that, but they've already accomplished that with mainstream media being in sync with the international community, shall we call it, and in sync with the top globalists around the world, and how they have the mouthpiece of radio stations, mainstream media, Hollywood, all of it. That is what they're using to change the global behavior. And it's exactly what we've seen. We've seen behaviors changes throughout the years, not for the better, by the way, but we've seen people getting more and more controlled and more progressive and more socialist and communist. They're moving us in that direction because that is how they can control us. And that's ultimately what they're after. Anyhow, wanted to share all of that with you. I love you all. Can't wait to read your comments. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.